Triple Crown title when you won the UK in 2018. Where does this sit in the all-time performances of your career? It's got to be right there near the top, surely.
Listen, any world title he wins got to be up there. You know, it's great to be able to win over the 17 days here. You know, you come here, you got to play a lot of solid shots and be solid in all departments. And you know, even though I might not have felt I'd done that, I must have done, because these guys are too good on tour to give it to you. You know, and I just want to say, you know, as well for Kyron, you know, he's a top player. You know, he's improving all the time, and all that. You know, he fell off the tour. He was always going to get back on the tour. When you've got that desire and that hunger and that belief in your ability, yeah, you might have to work in a bar for a bit. You might have to do bits and pieces, but deep down that fire is burning bright enough, so you actually get there in the end. And you know, so he's a winner, and he will win this tournament one day. Not to put too much pressure on him, but he is a country mile above everybody else around his age, and he'll be the first to admit that he's always watching the Higginses, the Williamses, and the likes of them players, because he wants to raise that bar as well. So when someone's that student about their sport, you know that they're going to have plenty of good days as well. So his time's definitely going to come.
Beautifully said. All the pundits down in our studio in London are saying you are now unequivocally the greatest. 37 ranking titles. No one's won more Triple Crowns. Tying Hendry on 7, is it even a relevance? Are you happy to be with Steve on 6?
I'm happy to be on 1. I was happy to get 1 at one stage. You know, 2 was great, and once I hit 4, I went, you know, I can call myself like one of the greats. You know, because all the greats seem to have done it. I look at John Higgins and go, he's a great. You know, so if he's won it 4 times, that's what you've got to do to be a great. Probably put Mark Williams in there just about.
Well, he's won 3.
Yeah, but I'll put it at 4. So anything above 4, you got, you know, you kind of, you're in that sort of fantastic company, I suppose. But I think, you know, the 30s. The way I look at it is though, like. It's, with the records with Hendry, it's like if I've played more tournaments than him to get there, I think who got there first? I'm not sure, so you'll have to ask someone of the stats. But I'm always, if I've played 1,000 tournaments and he's only made 500 and I'm just about beating his records, then I'd rather have Stephen's CV, do you know what I mean? So you'll have to get your statistic book out for that. But I suppose my thing has been longevity. You know, I go in and out of form. You know, my mind can wander sometimes, but then I just get a little bit of a taste for it and think, come on, let's see if you still got it, and start to, you know, try and have a go again, like I have done this tournament. You know.
And just finally, a word for your fans. They have followed you for decades. This is a very difficult time for so many people. Yeah. Once again, they have turned out in great numbers. This has been a journey not just for you, but for everybody who supported you. And it must give you great pride that you've given people something to focus on other than the virus over the last 17 days.
Yeah, well, listen, I want to thank my sponsors as well, Affinity. They've been fantastic, you know. Without their support, without 19.com support, you know, I wouldn't be able to put the hours in and sacrifice some of the things I have to sacrifice, because like Kyron says, we all need support. You know, we play snooker, but it's nice to have people around you that are able to support you through that, so as you can make it such a comfortable ride. And hopefully Affinity are going to try and create a wonderful app where they can sort me out the perfect cue action, because they're good at doing that stuff. So I've given them a task. I said, come and create it so as I can, like, you know, get the perfect cue action, because, you know, as snooker players, that's all we want to do. That's all. Listen, when you put in 5 or 6 hours in a day, it's not because you like the sound of the balls hitting the back of the pocket. It's like, can I be hitting it straight enough so as when I come and play under pressure, it stands up? And that's why we put all the hours in, not because, you know, we'd rather be sitting there watching Match of the Day, to be honest, or watching you off hanging off of some boat interviewing someone while he's doing the rowing. Yeah.
Well, that was a long time ago, as was your first major triumph. 27 years of longevity, ladies and gentlemen. There is only one Ronnie O'Sullivan. And Ronnie, there is an old silver lady who's been waiting for a kiss for 7 years. Would you please raise the trophy? You are the 2020 Betfred World Snooker Champion.
Congratulations, Ronnie O'Sullivan. You are looking at one of the greatest sports stars this country has ever produced. No doubt about it. And he has fine television choice as well. He watches Match of the Day, JP.
Oh, man of my own heart. But we really should cherish him, to be honest with you. I mean, he's got fantastic longevity, but how many more years he'll go on for playing, I don't know. But it's a treat watching him play. When he plays properly, there's nobody quite like him.
I think he's I think it's officially the only player to have ever won in 3 separate decades. So he talks about his longevity, and he should be proud of that. That's such a tough thing to do. The standard ever improving, and he's still out there at the top. And I think he's capable of going even further, certainly into his 50s, should he so wish.
These are brilliant pictures, aren't they? 6 world titles, John.
Phenomenal achievement, and, you know, draws level with the man sitting next to me, which is no mean feat in itself. And he could carry him. It's all down to him. If he wants to carry on and put the hours in and keep playing and competing, he could get up to Stephen's record, that's for sure, and win another one.
And we spoke about this during the tournament as well, didn't we, Steve and John, about the very fact that he's got to be up there with the greatest sports stars that have played the sports. And I was saying to you just a few weeks back, I did a radio interview just a few weeks before the Crucible started, and people saying to me, where does watching Ronnie O'Sullivan rank with being pitchside at World Cup finals and Six Nations matches? And I said, right at the very top.
It's a treat to come to the Crucible and to come and see him play live. And when he's absolutely at it and at his best, there's nothing quite like it. And the fact he's so ambidextrous, I mean, he throws the cue over and plays shots left-handed other people couldn't play right-handed. I mean, that is just a scary amount of talent that he's got. And let's not forget, by the way, Jason, he's had to dig in as well here. He was 6-2 down to Mark Williams in one of the rounds, quarter-final. He was 16-14 down to Mark Selby. And as good as he is, that's how hard he had to work to win this.
And when he started smashing around that pink, we were thinking, is he on his way out?
Well, he came in with a game plan to play a fast attacking game, and it was a risky one, but it paid off in the end. Wouldn't it be nice to see him win Sports Personality of the Year? It's not been the best year for sport. Surely he's got to be up there in the nominations this year.
It's been severely disrupted, of course. And this is wonderful, isn't it? Because, you know, we were very anxious and worried, weren't we, John, about fans being in for the final. And how lovely to see Ronnie showing that trophy off to those fans who simply adore him.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you know, he does various interviews, and sometimes he says he's not bothered, and look at him there. He's happy because he's bothered. He wants to win. He wouldn't put the hours in the club if it didn't mean a lot to him. And to win it 6 times is one heck of an achievement.
He's more of a student of the game than you would ever think. You think he just goes out on the table, crash, bang, wallop. He studied the game, he studied his action, his technique. He's tried to work out the best ways to play the game. Even if when it goes wrong, OK, he sort of says, I don't care about it. He does. You don't stay in the game that long without absolutely loving the game of snooker and wanting to get the best out of yourself. Obviously, he's been through ups and downs from a psychological state, but he's always had snooker at the back of his mind, even if he's been up and down in the snooker world. He's always wanted to achieve perfection, and also tactically he's so wonderful as well.
And he's also box office as well, John, because without Ronnie O'Sullivan, one has to